In this example, we're going to take a look at the if statement. The if statement is used to create a decision structure, which allows a program to have more than one path of execution. The if statement causes one or more statements to run only when a Boolean expression is true. The top part of this program, you can see we have statements that are running right after the other. This is called sequence structure. You could think of sequence structure as the steps you would take to solve a math problem. To complete the problem, you have to start at the beginning and take each step one right after the other until you reach the answer. But sometimes programs need to go in more than one direction depending on certain circumstances. This is accomplished with a decision structure. So with a decision structure, an action only takes place if a condition is true. If the condition does not exist, the action doesn't take place. If a condition is false, the action doesn't occur. In this program, our decision structure is going to take the form of the if statement. The general format of the if statement, we have the word if, the keyword if, followed by a condition, which is in parentheses. And if that condition is true, we have the conditional statement. Notice how the condition is using something that should look familiar. That is a greater than symbol, and that's called a relational operator. So there are several relational operators. In this example program, we are just looking at two. So we have to start off the greater than symbol. We also have a less than symbol. We have a greater than equals, a less than equals. This would be our equals symbol, and then we also have a not equals relational operator. So if the average is greater than 95, that would be a true condition, and this conditional statement will run. Now take a notice that there is not a semicolon after this first part of the if statement, but there is a semicolon at the end of this conditional statement. Okay, so be very careful with your semicolons and where you place them. And in the second condition, notice we have grade is being compared to the character A. Okay, no semicolon until we're at the end of the entire if statement. Now also notice how we are tabbed in. So it's standard practice to tab that conditional statement in. So it stands out, makes it a little bit easier to read. Also notice that if you have multiple lines of your conditional statement, okay, we're going to call this the block, you're going to need to have curly braces. Okay, so one line after your if condition is tested, so if grade is equal to A, one line really does not need to have the curly braces. That's a single line condition. But multiple lines are going to need the curly braces. A lot of times students will just put the curly braces after the tested condition, regardless of if they have one statement or multiple statements. Okay, so we could compile this real quick. So we'll compile, and there are no syntax errors. Let's run this real quick. We'll do right click, void main, hit OK. And don't forget this is J option pane for this example. Enter score. We'll say 95. Enter second score, 90. Third score, 100. Your average is 95. Okay? And notice how we did not go past 95. And the reason being is because my average was equal to 95. Okay, so it could only be that very slight difference. So my condition was average is greater than 95. If I wanted to accept 95 as my part of my condition, then I would have to do greater than equals in my condition. Okay, so be very careful about that. If you want to include a value in your condition, you have to make sure you have the equals. My original condition said average is greater than 95. My average was equal to 95, so I was able to print out the average and that was it. I did not enter into the if block because I had a false condition. So we'll test that with greater than equals, and we'll run the same values. Okay, so run this again. Don't forget this time we have greater than equals. Enter your score, 95. Second score, 90. Third score, 100. Your average is 95. Okay, this is as far as we got last time. Hit OK. That is a great score. Okay, so now this time we do have a true condition because we put greater than equals. So now that's a great score. Now we're inside the if block, and we earned an A. Okay. So you can see the difference between having greater than and greater than equals. So the first time when our average was 95, we printed out, we saw on the screen the average is 95. But the score was not greater than 95, so this was a false condition, and it skipped the entire if block and jumped down and exited. And that is how you use a decision structure, the if statement. Until next time.